Hey everybody, I'm Maya and this is Talky Hands, where my hands give a little performance and I do the talking. Well, okay, mostly because I think, as I mentioned in my first video, I don't really think what I'm talking about really has much significance to do with my face, so you get the idea. Okay, so this week's topic that I really wanted to discuss, what to do when you feel the need to schedule everything. Now, if you're watching this around the time I've posted it, you too are living through the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, otherwise known as COVID-19. And right now, at least where I am, it's the middle of the summer and a lot of things have changed this year, to say the least. But one thing I've come to realize over the last week or so is that, well, just in general, I think, well, what do I mean exactly when I talk about having to schedule everything? Well, here's the thing. Let me give an example. A lot of appointments that I usually do every year, like say doctor's checkup, those have all been kind of like postponed because of COVID. So there's really nothing on my planner totally, and yet I feel the need. I just feel like an instinctive need to schedule things. I guess I'm a very organized person. I like to be organized. But if you too have had this feeling, then you might kind of get where I'm going here. So like, let's say the hobbies that you've been wanting to get back into, be it reading, maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's drawing, maybe it's listening to music, whatever. You start to feel like you've got to schedule them, and if you have more of a severe case, like I myself do, you probably might have a lot of different things that you really want to do, but you feel like there's not enough time in the day to do them, so you feel extremely overwhelmed. So in the end, you start going by to like grab a planner or grab a notebook and start like scheduling the heck out of everything, basically. So one thing I want to point out is that one thing that has really helped me with not feeling an overwhelming urge to schedule every single thing in my life is to honestly go with the flow. Don't listen to the schedule so much, and don't let it dictate your life. It should be you work your hobbies into your life. You don't work your life around your hobbies, because you might have a crazy busy life. Maybe you have a family to help take care of. Maybe you're working from home now, or maybe you're continuing your education from home right now. And but I think really not just during a pandemic period like we are experiencing right now. I think it really can apply to any time that you feel like you don't have enough time to do everything you want to do, and you feel so overwhelmed that you try to schedule it. But this is the thing. When you overschedule every single little thing, I think a little part of your mind might be like, it's scheduled now, and you kind of dread the upcoming time, right? Because you're approaching that appointment that you've set up for, say, like me, for instance. I wanted to try doing reading for like half an hour every day. But honestly, realistically, sometimes I only get maybe like 20 minutes in, maybe 20, probably more like 15, because I'm trying to do other stuff too. Some days I say I make sushi. I'll touch base on that in another video in the future, where I talk about how I do my faux sushi, as I call it. But another thing that I've found is really helpful with the scheduling is just kind of go with the flow and do what you feel like doing. Because when you ask yourself, it's similar to intuitive eating in that sense. It's similar to intuitive eating in that sense, because when you let go of this need to associate morality with everything, then you start asking yourself, like with intuitive eating, the question became, what is okay for me to eat? It was like, what do I want to eat? So similar to that, here, you're going to be thinking not what do I need to do right now. You're asking, what do I want to do right now? So instead of, say, overscheduling myself and driving myself crazy by saying, okay, I've got to do my journal in the morning, I've got to read in the afternoon, I've got to draw at night, that just makes me crazy, because there are some mornings I just want to sleep in. There are some nights I just want to relax and watch something on YouTube. Yes, I am a YouTube junkie, I'll admit. Probably why I started considering doing this, but anyway, past the point. Ugh. But the thing is, you're not going to feel the same kind of person, the same kind of mood every day, okay? So like some days you might not want to read in the afternoon. Some days you're going to want to read in the morning, and that's okay. That's why ditch that little schedule, except for things that absolutely have a deadline. So like, say, the time of a certain class, if you're like a college student or a grad student or something like that, or, you know, an important work meeting, you know, that stuff, that is the stuff that really needs to be in a planner. That is the stuff that needs to be scheduled. I think what happens is our brain becomes overwhelmed because it gets excited by everything that it now has an opportunity to do with the free time you have, that it doesn't know how to go about it, so it starts scheduling everything. But I think that kind of backfires, because sometimes then you end up not meeting those schedules, and then you end up kind of like self-berating yourself because you're like, oh, I didn't journal this morning because I woke up late, you know. Like me, for instance, I really enjoy drawing sometimes in the morning, like before 8 in the morning. But then there was a day I woke up at like almost 9, so I didn't really feel like drawing. I wanted to get on with the day and do, like, you know, some house chores and, you know, stuff like that. So the really important thing is, don't hold yourself rigid to a schedule of any kind. And I'm only making that really an exception for things that, like I said, absolutely cannot be changed. So like important meetings, important appointments, you know, stuff like that. Not this little nitty-gritty stuff that is supposed to be your mental relaxation, your chance at a little internal rejuvenation, if you get what I'm saying. So instead of holding yourself guilty for everything that you wanted to do but did not do, flip it around. Think of the glass as half full in this case. What have you done today? Like when I think of today, for instance, this is just an example. Today I did not play piano as much as I thought I would. I did not draw as much, but I'm not thinking of that. Instead, I'm thinking of the stuff I did do. For instance, I practiced making some sushi, which was fun because I'm getting better at it. I did some drawing. I did some writing, which is really important. So really, anything that makes you come alive, don't force yourself to adhere to a rigid schedule. If you feel that those times and periods are bound to change, because you're just going to drive yourself nuts trying to complete this imaginary schedule that you feel you need to do. Okay, nobody's got it all together. Probably nobody has time to do every single little thing at once. But you can at least be grateful for what you have done, right? That's what this is all about. Being mindful, living through the days, making memories count. So before we leave off, I just want to leave you with that thought. And just remember, at the end of the day, you are a human, you're a person, you are living your life, you are breathing. So all things aside, I think you're doing okay. If you're still breathing, I think you're okay. So till next time, Talky Hands out.